All India rank of 89 under general category in NEET MDS 2021, and that too with self preparation and self motivation. Isn't that inspiring? Yes, so me and Dr. Abhishek have tried our best to motivate you guys in this pandemic times and the counseling process getting delayed. I know the energy is bit lower on your side. So I hope this video will give you that amount of energy and motivation to kickstart your preparation or to boost your preparation. Please watch this video till the end because Dr. Abhishek has truly passionately shared his story into this video. So at the end of this video, if you still have any queries regarding your preparation, you can contact me. The details are in the description box below, or you can write me a comment down this video. So now any further ado, let's start the video. Hello Abhishek, welcome to my channel. So Abhishek, tell us that what was your reaction when you saw your result that you have secured All India rank 89?
My first reaction was to check it again because I couldn't believe it, obviously. My first reaction was to check it again because the first time when they release the result is just a PDF format. So you have to type in your roll number and then search for the result. So when I did that, and when I saw my rank, I typed it again. So I thought that I had made a mistake on some number. But after checking it twice or thrice, I came to believe that, yes, this is my rank.
Amazing. And what was your family's reaction?
First, when I saw the result, I went directly to my mom and told her that this is the rank I secured. And for a few seconds, we were both blank because we didn't know how to react. And after that, I hugged her and said that I finally did it. And she said, now you can start with your journey again. So, and my father was happy as well. Both my mom and dad don't say too many things, neither encouraging nor discouraging. They are very reserved as far as expressing their feelings are concerned. But it's being able to express that to her, that I am very relieved that this is the rank that I got, and the sigh of relief that she also gave told me a lot many things than words could ever say.
Amazing, amazing. So you took a drop of a year or two, right?
I took a drop of 1 year, yes.
Yes. So how was that phase for you? Like, most of the people feel like giving up or settling on to whatever college they are getting, instead of, taking a drop and putting their efforts again for the preparation. So can you tell us a bit about that phase?
The thing is, it is difficult if you take a drop once or twice in your preparation, but this year it was even more difficult because of the pandemic. Neither could you go out, nor could you meet your friends and chill for a few moments, nothing of that sort. So it was even more difficult this year, but I had made that decision that no matter what happens, I'll just keep on slogging and we'll see what happens after that. Okay. Because in the year before that, in 2019, means in the session of 2020, this was 2021 session. In the session of 2020, I got a rank of around 2121. Okay. So which was good enough to get into a private institution, but I really didn't want to get into a private institution. So I still remember that I went for that counseling to see which private institutions that I can get in my own state. So okay. When I saw these are the private institutions in my state and these are the institutes that I can get into and those departments that I can get into, I chose that I decided I won't take any private institute then and there. My mom told me that if you want to, you can take it. But then and there, I just had this feeling that, no, I don't want to take a private institute. And when I was leaving, sir there told me that you should take it. Why are you wasting another year? I said, no, sir, I don't want to. I just made my decision and I want to leave. And I left. When I came home, the first thing I told my mom is, I'm going to slog again. No matter what happens, I'm not going to stop. But after just dropping, just letting my seat go, for 2 or 3 days, I was quite depressed. My mother could understand it. She told me that you have lost your way a little bit. Just get back in the game and start again. So after the 2 or 3 days of inertia, I started again.
It's all about those 3 hours, that how you perform in those 3 hours. Okay, no matter since how long you are preparing. If you are not ready, yes. If your mind is not active, if you are not understanding what questions are asking, what questions are being asked and what to answer to them, at that moment you do not have choice to get confused. Even one mistake of yours can throw you far back into the competition. So yes, that is the
Definitely.
challenge for NEET MDS, and you have performed really really well.
Thank you.
So please share your daily routine, like how many hours you used to study, right from the beginning of your preparation till the end, or right before few days before your NEET MDS exam. How was your routine from starting till the end?
When I started, the thing is, the previous MDS result, when it came out the previous year, I decided that I will study just a little bit because I didn't know whether or not I'd be able to get into a good private institute or anything. Because not getting into a private institute was a very late decision that I took. So I started studying from the day the result came out, just from the next day. So I just started trying to study 30 minutes to 1 hour every day for the first week itself. After that, I understood that this is not going to work because the syllabus is way too huge, and there are way too many subjects. And if I do not make a game plan, I won't be able to succeed. So the first thing, after a week, what I did is I wrote down the subjects that needed to be done. 19 or 20 subjects that were needed to be done. I wrote them down, and I prioritized a few subjects such as medicine, oral medicine and radiology, uh, mm, orthodontia, public health dentistry. Those are the few subjects that I thought I was a bit weak on. So I wrote those subjects down and saying high priority. Those are the subjects that I was going to attack the most. And there were subjects that were easier comparatively, such as smaller subjects such as pedodontia and so on and so forth. So I wrote them down, and these are the subjects that were, according to me, easy. So what I did was do one tough subject in a week. After that week, in the next week, I do a easier subject. So what happens is your confidence keeps on growing. That in 1 week you have finished a subject such as anatomy. It's very difficult to retain, right? So after you've done anatomy, do a easier subject. Maybe do pedo, which is comparatively easier. So this what happens is, because I didn't have any other guidance, I didn't have anybody telling me, no, this is how you should be doing it. I thought this was the best method that I could keep myself motivated with. So I did one tough subject in 1 week. The next week I did an easier subject. And whatever happened, I tried to finish each and every subject in my first revision within 1 to 1.5 weeks, not more than that. Not more than that at all. Because I understood one thing, that my memory is not good. I forget very easily, and I have to keep on revising. So I thought if I do not revise at least 6 to 7 times my whole syllabus, I won't be able to remember anything. Although that became a lot more after you understand your own pace and after you increase your pace. Once you get into something, when you get into that inertia of practice, no, it becomes easier. You start to feel like as if you're untouchable. You can finish a subject in 3 or 4 days even. So when that happens, inertia takes over and you tend to do more revisions that you thought you could ever do. So my initial plan was to at least revise the whole syllabus 6 to 8 times at least, and not exceed more than 1 to 1.5 weeks per subject.
So how many hours each day you used to contribute?
Uh, Initially, in the first 1 or 2 weeks, I didn't count hours. I just thought I have 3 parts of the day that I can use: the morning session, the afternoon session, and the evening session. So in the morning session, I wasn't very productive. I'm not a very productive morning person. So at least 2.5 hours I did in the morning session. In the afternoon session, I did around 1 to 1.5 hours. And in the evening session is the time when I actually capitalized. From evening till late night till 1:30 to 2 a.m. I just slogged. That is the time I capitalize. Now you have to find out your strength. Some people work better in the morning. Some people work better in the night. It doesn't matter if you're a night owl or a early riser. Whatever works for you, do it. There is no right or wrong way, I believe. So I didn't count the hours. I understood that the day had 3 sessions and I have to make the most out of those sessions. That's it. I mean, I think that amounted to around what? Initially, 6 to 7 hours initially. And after that, when the exam was knocking on the door, then that would obviously increase to 10 to 12. But initially, I think I did 6 to 8 hours
Right.
per day.
But consistency matters, right? Like
Definitely.
daily you have to give 6 to 7 hours right from your preparation. Then you can
Definitely.
achieve that many revisions and a good rank at the end.
The bottom line with any competitive examination, I think, in the medical field is repetition and revision. The more you repeat, the more you revise, the more you retain. No matter how good memory you have, how photographic your memory is, you will definitely forget. If you get overconfident thinking that if I revise it once or twice, I would retain it. You won't. Trust me, you won't. No matter how good your memory is, you will forget because there are so many subjects. You get into one theory of one subject, you remember that theory. After that, when you get into the next subject, you forget everything. That happens. When you come back to that previous subject, you would feel like as if you are going through Alzheimer's disease. You won't remember most of it. And that is when the panic starts. That why can't I remember? What will happen now? Nothing will happen. As long as you keep on revising till the day of your examination, you are going to do well. You are going to do well. The fight, first of all, is in the mind. If you can win there, you would win in the battlefield as well. That is what I believe in. Most people think, if I'm going to forget, how am I going to crack the examination? People are much more intelligent than I am. It's not about intelligence. It's not. Yes, it is about intelligence to a certain extent, but people who are willing to work harder than they think they can are going to win, definitely.
Right, right. What were the books you used for your preparation?
I believed in retrospective studying. The major book that I followed, the main MCQ book that I followed was Dentist, Gauri Shankar. Uh, Parts of Dental Pulse I followed, but my main book was Gauri Shankar. This is another mistake. Most people think there are so many books and I do not know much about anything. I haven't studied much in my second, third, or final year. How am I going to crack it? That is a very wrong misconception that people have, is that they can't crack an examination because they do not have the necessary concepts. You can build your concept. First, you have to build your speed. How many MCQs you're doing. First, you'll start with 150, then 250, then 300. Now, some people who are extraordinarily talented do around 1,000 to 1,300 MCQs per day. I wasn't that fast. I tried to maintain a speed of around 400 to 500 MCQs throughout my preparation. I didn't increase much, I didn't decrease much. I tried to keep it on a flat scale as much as possible. So I read those MCQs, and whatever concepts I didn't understand from the MCQ book, I studied from a standard textbook. Any standard textbook. It doesn't have to be a reference book of a foreign author. Any standard textbook will do.
Okay, okay. So now what are your plans like with All India rank of 89? In which branch you want to pursue MDS? You have any thoughts regarding it?
I was a bit confused between orthodontia and prosthodontia. Orthodontia being my first love because I loved that subject. I always felt that orthodontia, not being taught in the BDS level that much, always had a better market as far as setting up a clinic is concerned. But after giving it a lot of thought, after consulting with a few seniors, with a few stalwarts of the of this of the practice of dentistry, I understood that I needed to go for prosthodontia because of the fact that I wanted to learn implant dentistry. I definitely wanted to learn about full mouth rehab, and I definitely wanted to learn about maxillofacial prosthesis. So
Okay.
after a lot of deliberation within my own mind, fighting against myself, I thought, all right, let's go for prosthodontia, not orthodontia.
Well, amazing. I would say welcome to the fraternity.
Yes, I was going to say that I was going to take your subject, ma'am.
Okay, nice. And would you like to give any message to those who are preparing right now, who must be a little bit low on the energy and lacking some motivation into their preparation? So, what message you would like to give to those students?
I'd just like to say that remember why you started. Remember the times when you thought that this is something that I want to do. Now, any specialist study cannot be forced onto you. You cannot crack an examination thinking my parents want me to crack the examination, my significant other wants me to crack this examination, my friends, my peers want to make me crack this examination. That is not going to work. Remember why you actually wanted to start. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to do MDS or whatever, but if you believe, even for once you believe that this is something that you wanted to do, keep that belief in your heart and keep going. There will be days where you won't feel like studying. There will be days when you will feel low, that as if nothing is working for you. Take some rest, go back, go back to your drawing board, take some rest, recharge yourself by maybe going for a walk, maybe exercising. Exercise is a very good way to get rid of the stress, by the way. That is how I did it. I exercised when I felt stressful. And if you can get rid of the stress and remember why you started doing this, you will definitely be able to. Because when we start doing something, the labor is what we see. Why we started is invisible, right? When we already know in our hearts that why we started, but we tend to forget. The labor is the only thing that is in front of us, and we are obviously do not want to waste our time with labor because labor is intensive, it's difficult. So whenever that mindset comes upon you that I can't do this, I don't want to do this, always remember why you started and why you're actually going after this. What do you want to do after 5 or 10 years? Where do you want to see yourself? Do you want to see yourself teaching students? Do you want to open up your own specialist clinic? Or do you want to serve the army? Whatever you want to do, just keep that in your head that this is why I started. Write it down in a piece of paper and stick it in your wall. Every day when you wake up, just look at it. This is, I also did that. I had a target of rank AIR 50, and I had a date when I started and the destination when I was going to give the examination. A senior of my college told me this, that whatever you see, you can attack easily. So you have to be able to see your dream. It has to be tangible. So write it down, paste it in your wall or wherever you can see it the first thing you wake up, and it will get much easier. Remember, things are going to be difficult. Just because it's difficult, that's why not everyone gets a chance to do it. But that's what makes it even more worthwhile to do.
Right, right. So thank you so much, Abhishek. And
Thank you.
I hope this talk and this interview will help a lot many students who are, stuck somewhere in their preparation, or this might add a little bit more of an enthusiasm to their preparation.